In the heart of a bustling city, where skyscrapers pierced the sky like ambitious dreams, Elena Vargas stepped out of her sleek black SUV, her high heels clicking against the pavement like the ticking of a relentless clock. She was the CEO of a multi-million-dollar tech firm, a woman who commanded boardrooms with a single glance, but today, she felt like a failure. Holding her 7-year-old son Alex's hand, she led him into the sun-dappled park, his small fingers limp in hers. Alex hadn't spoken a word in over 2 years. Not since the accident that stole his father from them. His silence was a wall she couldn't breach, no matter how many specialists she hired or therapies she funded. As they settled on a bench, Elena's phone buzzed with emails, but she forced herself to ignore it. Little did she know, this ordinary afternoon would shatter her world in the most beautiful way. Stick around till the end, because what happens next will leave you in tears. And if this story touches your heart, hit that like button and subscribe for more inspiring tales that remind us of the power of unexpected connections. Elena watched as Alex stared blankly at the playground, his eyes distant, like windows to a storm he couldn't escape. The other children laughed and chased each other, their voices a symphony of joy that only amplified her son's quiet isolation. She remembered the day it all changed, the car crash on a rainy night, her husband Mark gone in an instant and Alex retreating into himself, his words locked away with his grief. As CEO, Elena had thrown herself into work, building an empire to provide for them, but it came at a cost. Late nights, missed school events, and a growing chasm between her and her boy. "Come on, sweetie," she whispered, guiding him toward the swings. He sat motionless, swinging gently as she pushed, her mind racing with guilt. Why couldn't she fix this? She was Elena Vargas, the woman who turned startups into giants. Yet her own son was slipping away. Across the park, under the shade of an old oak tree, sat Daniel Harper with his 5-year-old daughter, Lily. Daniel was a single dad, a former musician turned graphic designer after his wife's battle with cancer ended 2 years ago. Lily was his light, a bubbly girl with curls that bounced like her endless energy. But Daniel carried his own shadows. Nights when he questioned if he was enough for her, if his freelance gigs could keep them afloat. Today he watched Lily build sandcastles, her laughter a balm for his weary soul. He noticed Elena and Alex from afar, the elegant woman in her tailored suit, looking out of place among the casual parents, and the boy who seemed lost in his own world. Something tugged at Daniel's heart. He remembered his wife's final words, "Connect with people, Dan. Life's too short for walls." Gathering his courage, he scooped up Lily and approached the swings. "Hi there," Daniel said with a warm smile, his voice carrying the gentle rhythm of someone who'd sung lullabies through tears. Elena looked up, startled, her professional mask slipping for a moment. "I'm Daniel, and this is Lily. Mind if we join you?" Alex didn't react, but Lily toddled over, her tiny hands clutching a flower she'd picked. "For you," she chirped, holding it out to Alex. He didn't move, but his eyes flickered, the first sign of interest Elena had seen in months. Daniel knelt down to Alex's level. "Hey buddy, I'm Daniel. You like swings? Lily here thinks they're like flying without wings." He didn't push, didn't demand words. Instead, he started humming a soft tune, one from his old band days, a melody about stars and dreams. Elena watched in quiet astonishment as Alex's shoulders relaxed. Usually strangers made him withdraw further, but Daniel's easy presence was different. He didn't treat Alex like a problem to solve, he just was there. As the afternoon unfolded, Daniel shared bits of his story without prompting. "Lost my wife to cancer," he said softly while Lily and Alex sat side by side in the sand, her building towers and him watching intently. It was like the music stopped. "But Lily, she's my remix, keeps me going." Elena felt a pang in her chest. Here was a man who'd lost everything, yet he radiated warmth. She opened up, hesitantly at first about the crash, her rise in the corporate world, the guilt that gnawed at her. "I provide for him," she admitted, "but I can't reach him." The sun dipped lower, casting golden hues over the park. Daniel suggested a game. Nothing fancy, just stacking pebbles into shapes. Lily giggled as she placed one on top, and to Elena's shock, Alex reached out, his small hand adding another stone. It was tentative, silent, but it was participation. Daniel nodded encouragingly. "See, everyone builds at their own pace." As they played, Daniel shared how music had helped him through grief. "Sometimes words fail, but a song, it speaks for you." He pulled out his phone and played a gentle acoustic track. Alex's eyes widened, and for the first time in years, He hummed along, faintly, almost inaudibly, but it was there. Elena's heart raced. Was this real? But challenges loomed. As the days turned into a routine, Elena carving out time from her schedule to meet Daniel and Lily at the park. Doubts crept in. Her board members questioned her sudden distractions. Emails piled up, and she snapped at Alex one evening after a long day, regretting it instantly. "Why won't you talk to me?" she whispered in frustration, tears streaming. Alex retreated again, his silence a rebuke. Daniel, too, faced his hurdles. A big freelance project fell through, leaving him scrambling for bills. Lily caught a cold, and he wondered if juggling park visits was wise. Yet he showed up, because something about Elena and Alex felt like a second chance. One rainy afternoon, they sought shelter under a pavilion. Daniel brought his guitar, strumming softly. Lily danced in puddles, splashing joy everywhere. Elena confessed her fears. "I'm afraid I'll lose him forever." Daniel set the guitar down. "You're not losing him. You're fighting for him. But maybe let him fight with you." He handed the guitar to Alex, who touched the strings curiously. A soft twang escaped and Alex smiled, a real, genuine smile. Elena's breath caught. That evening, as they parted, Daniel said, "Same time tomorrow." She nodded, a spark of hope igniting. The turning point came on a crisp Saturday. Elena had a major presentation, but she canceled it, a first in her career. At the park, Daniel arrived with a picnic. Lily and Alex chased butterflies, and when Alex tripped, scraping his knee, he didn't cry silently as usual. Instead, he looked at Daniel and whispered. One word, but it shattered Elena's world. She stared in shock, tears blurring her vision. Daniel froze, then grinned. "Hey, buddy, that looks brave." Alex nodded, and slowly more words tumbled out. "Butterfly, pretty." Elena dropped to her knees, hugging him fiercely. "My boy," she sobbed. Daniel watched, his own eyes misty, realizing this single dad had changed everything. Not with grand gestures, but with patience and presence. As weeks passed, the bond deepened. Elena scaled back at work, delegating more, rediscovering the joy of motherhood. Alex's words flowed like a dam, breaking stories, questions, laughter. Daniel found stability too, a job offer from Elena's connections, but more importantly, a family forming. Lily called Alex her brother, and one evening, under the stars, Daniel and Elena shared a quiet kiss, two broken hearts mending together. But life wasn't without setbacks. Alex had regressions, nights when silence returned like an old ghost. Elena's company faced a downturn, testing her resolve. Daniel's grief resurfaced on his wife's anniversary, making him distant. They navigated these with honesty therapy sessions together, park outings as anchors. Elena learned vulnerability wasn't weakness. Daniel discovered strength in asking for help. Their children thrived, Lily teaching Alex to dance, Alex showing her how to build intricate sandcastles. Months later, on Alex's 8th birthday, the park buzzed with friends. Elena's colleagues mixing with Daniel's bandmates. Alex stood tall, blowing out candles, his voice strong. "Thank you, Daniel." Elena glanced at Daniel, her hand in his. "You changed everything," she whispered. He smiled. "We all did." And so, in a world that rushes by, remember, sometimes the greatest changes come from the simplest connections. If this story moved you, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more heartwarming journeys. What's your takeaway? Share in the comments below. Elena Vargas had always been the architect of her own destiny. Born in a modest neighborhood, she clawed her way up through scholarships and sheer determination, graduating top of her class in business school. Her marriage to Mark was a whirlwind, two ambitious souls merging paths. Alex arrived like a blessing, filling their home with baby giggles. But the crash on that fateful highway robbed her of Mark and silenced Alex. Doctors diagnosed selective mutism triggered by trauma, but no amount of sessions broke through. Elena buried her pain in work, her company Innovatech soaring to new heights, featured in Forbes as the unstoppable CEO. Yet, at home, she was adrift, her son's eyes pleading for a mother she struggled to be. The park became their sanctuary, a green oasis amid concrete chaos. That first meeting with Daniel wasn't coincidence, it was fate's gentle nudge. Daniel Harper, with his tousled hair and kind eyes, had once toured with an indie band, his songs topping local charts. Cancer stole his wife Sarah, leaving him with Lily and a mountain of medical debt. He traded stages for stability, designing logos from his cramped apartment. Lily, with her infectious energy, was his anchor, but loneliness gnawed at him. Their second park visit deepened the connection. Elena arrived frazzled from a meeting, Alex clutching a toy car. Daniel had brought snacks, homemade cookies from Sarah's recipe. Try one, he offered. Alex nibbled silently, but his eyes lit up. Conversation flowed. Elena shared her corporate battles, Daniel his creative draughts. Lily tugged Alex to the slide, and he followed hesitantly. When he slid down, a tiny laugh escaped, more a huff, but Elena's heart soared. Challenges mounted. Elena's VP, a ambitious rival, undermined her absences. The board's noticing, he warned. She pushed back, but stress manifested in migraines. Alex sensed it, his progress stalling. One night, after a heated call, she found him under his bed, rocking. "I'm sorry," she whispered, pulling him close. Daniel faced his own storm. A client ghosted him, rent due. He confided in Elena during a walk. "Sometimes I feel like I'm failing, Lily." She squeezed his hand. "You're not. Look at what you've done for Alex." Resolution came in waves. Elena hired a life coach, balancing work with part-time. Daniel joined a support group for widowers. Finding solace, music became their bridge. Daniel teaching Alex simple chords on a ukulele. The boy's first full sentence, "Play again, please." Tears flowed freely that day. As romance blossomed, it was tentative, built on shared scars. Their first date, a quiet dinner, kids with a sitter. "I'm scared," Elena admitted. "Me too," Daniel replied. But love grew like vines reclaiming ruins. The story's climax unfolded during a family outing to the zoo. Alex, now chatty, pointed at monkeys. "They talk funny." Lily laughed. But a loud noise startled him, triggering a meltdown. Elena panicked, but Daniel knelt, humming theirs, calmed, whispering, "I'm okay." In that moment, Elena saw the family they'd become. Years later, reflecting, Elena often said, "One dad, one park, infinite changes." Innovatech thrived under her evolved leadership, emphasizing work-life balance. Daniel's designs went viral, his music revived. Alex and Lily grew inseparable, siblings in spirit. The inspiring message: in silence seek connection, in loss find light. Life's parks hold miracles if we show up. If this epic tale resonated, like, subscribe, and let's spread more hope together.